Hey, so I want to explain a function that I recently learned called unnest, and I think it unlocks a lot of potential of new ways to store, query, and order your data. I'm gonna show you some examples now. So unnest is a table function, which means it's a function that produces a set of rows made up of either base data types or composite data types. They are used like tables. That's very key. That's a keynote here. That's something essential to remember. They are used like tables, so you can join them. You can use them as a join, like you can join to them or with them. You can select from them. You can have where you can reference the columns they produce and in the where clause, and that's written here. And this also that's the syntax for it. And this also comes with the with ordinality clause, and this it adds a new column to the set of rows that got produced, and this column is the order of that element. So I think in code this will make much more sense. So let me show you. I can say select unnest and yeah, don't forget to switch to Postgres. I'll put a link in the description for this thing. I think it's really cool. And you can give it an array, or you should give it an array. And if I run this, let me show you the result now. I get 1, 2, 3 as rows. It's not an array anymore. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And you can specify the with ordinality clause. Start from like this. Yeah, it won't work as a column, but it works when you treat it as a table. So you can get the order of each element in the array. Let me make it much more obvious that this is happening, so you can see the order. And you can give these names. So you can say as my table, the first column will be called my ID, second one is order, and boom, I just renamed these two columns. So that's pretty cool. And now I'm gonna show you some example of how we can use this. So let's say you have a list of values that got returned to you from a SQL query, and you want to order them in a custom way. And this custom way means, or like you have a list and the order should follow the same exact order in the list. I can show you in code. I'm gonna create this simple table. It's called emojis. I'm gonna store a bunch of emojis in it. So if I run this, I mean, no errors, which means it works. And let's say I want you to give me all of the emojis ordered in this order. How do you even do this? And this could be because, I mean, even if these are not emojis, let's say I want you to order this based on a specific array. Like if this row, if a column, wait, if a value from the current row that you are looking at exists in this array, in this order, put it the first element. That's the current way I want you to order it with. You can achieve this with the with ordinality function, or unnest with the with ordinality clause. And the way you do it is by doing the following. So I'm gonna select everything from emojis, which gives me this. Then I'm gonna join it, because the result from unnest is a table. It's like a table, right? So I can join it with this array, which let's imagine the client sent us this. So I just can put it here. And I would say or on true for now. This will join every element in the array with all of the rows. So that's why you can see this exists 6 times with every element with every row basically. And let's add the with ordinality clause. So you can see the order. And this order comes from this array. So you can see it now. You see, this got the order of 1. So we can now order them by that. But of course, we don't want to duplicate everything. So we need to fix our joining condition. And let's actually give it some names to begin with. As my order table, I would call this name, which is the value from the unset, call this column name. And this will be called, I'll just call it ordinality order. Run this again. Now you can see it works. Now we can simply say using name. This is exactly like saying, using name is like saying on emojis.name equal my order table.name, because both tables has the same name column. So you can just say using that name, that column's name, and that's it. So it works. So it's not ordered, but you can see the ordinality order will help us get the result we want. So you can just then say order by ordinality order. And now we get that result exactly how we wanted it. So we got this first, then this. So it's really nice. And I believe this will be used maybe in a subquery. And then this ordinality order, because you attach it to every row in the result, you just keep passing it up to the until you reach the root query, then you order there. This could be something you want to do. Also, you could end up with cases where you have to order by this multiple times, especially if you have if this is like nested in a big query and you have multiple ways to order things throughout the whole query before you apply your limits, your filters. So just keep in mind, you might end up ordering by this couple of times. It's okay, but that's a way to order the rows in I would call it maybe an ordinal way. So ordinality ordering maybe I'm not sure if that makes sense in English, but makes sense to me. Like I have this ordinal number, the ordinal array that represents ordering, and I want you to order the result in the same way if you see matching values. So that's pretty cool. Also, another example I can show you. Let's say I have this table called test. I have a name, which is an array of text. I have ID, I have an email. I'm gonna insert 2 values there. I need to fix the let's call it email. In the description, you can find link to the code. So if you run this now, this will not give us an error, which means it's working perfectly. And one use of the unnest is, I'll show you that with code because I think it's way easier to explain. So if I say unnest the name column from test, and this also select the ID. So you see random ID got duplicated twice because in this row we have this array of 2 elements, and unnest will create a row for each element and duplicate it with the row that it got it from. So we got this random ID column twice. So if I just do star instead of this, you can see the row itself got duplicated twice because we have 2 elements, and this row with this ID got duplicated 3 times because we have 3 elements. So that's another use of unnest. You can store arrays, then somehow, I mean, this is kind of a result of a join if you think about it. So you can do this to create a row for each element in the array. Now you can also do another amazing thing, in my opinion, which is give an order for each row after you unset it, and this will behave similar to window functions. I think I can show you better in code. And let's ask ourselves a question. Let's say this is a test, and I told you get the names from the array and get the names or get the emojis from the array and order the result based on the order which the emoji appeared at in the array. I know this is like an insane thing to get in an interview or something, but this is how I would like explain what I'm gonna do. So extract all of these all of these emojis as rows and order them based on the order they appeared in the array. And you can do this with the unnest and ordinality functions. So let's actually do it. So select the star from test. I'm gonna join it with unnest. I'm gonna unnest the name column. I'm gonna add with ordinality. If you run this will not work because you need to, like, let's say true. On true. I think you can see it now. We have 1, 2 for these two elements and 1, 2, 3 for these two elements, which is really nice. This is how I said this works like a window function somehow, or it gives us a result that we get from window functions. It's like I have a window of data, and there I'm applying some sort of a logic, which gives it a number where this emoji appeared in that array. Yeah. So what you can do now is order by. Let's actually give this a name, like as my table. I will call this extracted name or extracted emoji actually. And this would be called ordinality order. Yeah, order by ordinality order. This now will work. So these two, I can just say extracted emoji. That will make it easier to reason about. So I have this emoji first, then this one, which is correct because they appeared the first in their array. And then I have this guy and these two, and then the flower at the end. And now you can add any other column you want. So let's say I'm gonna select the ID. And that's it. So pretty interesting. It unlocks a lot of things, a lot of ways to store and query, order your data. And I hope it was useful. Bye.